What's really going on here? If you're like me, that's a question you ask often. Too many times, people at our mission approach me with a need and a story, and as I begin to ask some questions, it doesn't take too long before I'm asking again, what's really going on here? Who knows? Well, that's the question we really have to answer. Who does know? The answer is someone who really knows that person. This is why it's vital to understand and practice the principle of affiliation. Before you help someone, stop and ask yourself, is there someone more closely affiliated to this person who should be helping? We don't have time to dive deep here, but you can learn all about the mark of effective charity known as affiliation at university.truecharity.us. For now, I only want you to consider that when you or I jump into helping someone without finding out who might be more knowledgeable about the situation, who might have more responsibility to render help, we risk more than missing the mark of accurate charity. We might be inadvertently disrupting the right order of relationships that exist in any healthy society. This mark of affiliation is closely tied to a Catholic social teaching principle called subsidiarity. Subsidiarity is the idea that matters ought to be handled by the smallest, lowest, or least centralized competent authority. In other words, before a local mission steps in to help, has the person's immediate family? Before the government steps in, has the local mission? You get the idea. When larger, more centralized forms of help step in, rightful responsibility and better forms of charity can get pushed out. The tough part is that you and I don't readily see the disruption of those relationships. Because they're crowded out, they're out of sight and often out of mind. Let me share one example. Across my desk sat a man named John. I don't remember John's need, but I'm sure on that particular day, he was telling me the need and telling me the story. Yes, I thought to myself, what's really going on here? That very question led me to another one that I asked John. Where's your family? Do you have parents who are alive, John? He said his mother lived in California, but they haven't been in touch for years. She wouldn't want to talk to me, he assured me. I asked if he had her phone number, and he didn't. I asked if he recalled what town she lived in, and he did. So I looked her name up in the white pages and found the number. Can I call her? I asked. He agreed, and moments later, I was on the phone with John's mother, telling her that he was sitting right across from me. And then the magic happened. She asked if she could speak with him. I wish that you could have been in the room with me as I handed the phone to him, and he said, "Mom?" I don't remember the conversation, but the result was amazing. 2 weeks later, his sister had flown in from that town in California and was standing in the foyer of our mission in southwest Missouri. And then I watched her embrace her long-lost brother, and she took him back home. John was a chronically homeless man who came into our mission with some basic needs. He had no thought of asking his family for help, having thought that he had permanently burned that bridge. With a little advocacy and a regard for subsidiarity, the employment of affiliation paid off. It doesn't always, but there are many times it does, and you and I have a responsibility to call in those closer relationships to be a part of rendering the help that's needed. Here are a few practical takeaways for today. Number one, when you're engaging someone in need today, ask yourself that important question. Who's most closely affiliated with this person? Number two, take time to investigate by asking a few questions like, where's your family? Do you have a church? Do you have a friend who's helped you before? And number three, make a call. A simple phone call can help you understand more, and who knows, it might result in an amazing moment of reconciliation. Now let's go out there today and fight poverty and win.